brainy human. I guess that's the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's zombies. What's Frankenstein's monster say?
Victor.
I will, and by the way, before we jump into anything, I mean the listeners already seen the title, so they know what we're reviewing, so that's not really a spoiler.
No.
But I will be. You know how everyone's got those pet peeves in their life?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Where so I've got three. I've got two that come up all the time, and maybe I've mentioned them before.
No.
I hate when someone says itch as a verb.
Oh.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
You have an itch. An itch is a noun. You have an itch. You scratch it. When someone's like, "Oh, I'm itching my elbow." No, you're not. You're scratching your elbow because you have an itch.
Okay.
Learn English.
Number two.
Number two is when somebody refers to a day of the week by name
Okay.
when what they mean is tomorrow or yesterday. I'll see you on Wednesday. You mean tomorrow? Are we talking tomorrow, or are we? Because I'm like, well, are we right? Or
I've only come across that if it's by accident, like someone forgets that tomorrow's Wednesday.
If it's Monday, and they say next Saturday, but what they really mean is this Saturday,
right?
I don't.
That's just confusing.
Are we talking a week and a half from now?
That's just confusing.
Or are we talking?
Yeah.
So those are the two that come up all the time. My third,
all the time.
More often than the itching thing comes up a ton.
Okay.
It's like, and I find the people who say it are the same people you see getting Subway at 7:00 at night. They're the people who think it's acceptable to wear pajama pants into town.
Yeah.
Those are the people saying itch as a verb. But the one that comes up far less often, but is very pertinent to what we're doing here. Frankenstein is the man.
Sure.
The monster is Frankenstein's monster. Right. Because that's become so conflated in pop culture, right?
Yeah.
You see a kid dressed up with the green and the bolts out of his neck. People go, "Oh, you're dressed up as Frankenstein." No, he's not.
Yeah.
No, Frankenstein's the man.
Is he?
So anyways.
He's the man?
Well, they're both the monster. That's the genius of the story. We'll get into that. Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movement Podcast. I am Victor, and my co-host is the Creature. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Pete. My co-host with Pet Peeves is Brady, and we're here to review 2025 Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's most recent film.
Yeah.
Which I haven't known that this was coming forever, but when I found out about it, I've been excited.
I first saw a trailer maybe 2 months ago, and that was my first exposure to it, and I was like, oh yes. Yeah.
I was already excited about it, and then randomly during the World Series, Guillermo del Toro retweeted a "Let's Go Blue Jays," and then I was just all in.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why. I'm not really sure his connection.
This is the first time we've talked since
since the Blue Jays,
since the Jays
almost won.
Shit the bed.
You know what? Coming second out of 30 teams, where there's still teams in the league that have never made the World Series, and the Blue Jays have made it 3 times. That's still an accomplishment.
Listen, I don't do baseball.
Sure.
As I go every couple of years
for fun
to a live game, and it's more about the festivity of it than it is the game of baseball.
For sure.
I did watch some of this World Series.
Oh, it really depends. I'm curious which game you said, because that would it's like feast or famine which one you watched.
I didn't watch game 6 or 7.
Oh.
But I did hear enough about and even though I'm not into Jays, and even though I just poked fun at the Jays saying they shit the bed, I have strong opinions about this World Series. I have strong opinions not only about this World Series, but about umpire calls during this World Series. And there is a large part of me who, again, does still I'm not, with all my knowledge about baseball, let me tell you how it is. But I think there were some very controversial calls made.
Sure.
And it would appear that all of the controversial calls that were made were all not in favor of the Blue Jays. I'm not saying there's some big conspiracy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's a conspiracy at all. I don't think that was intentional.
Yeah.
But I do think there's if I were the outfielder for the Dodgers and the ball it's not like it was wedged in there. It's not like he could not have pulled it out.
But rules are rules.
I would have grabbed that ball and thrown it.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue that the rule isn't authentic to the game of baseball. Like if there's a ball there, pick it up and throw it.
Pick it up and throw it.
Pick it up and throw it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Sorry about your loss.
No, that's fine. The way I heard someone describe it, it's if you've just been broken up with or your dog just died. Like you kind of get a little bit over it day by day, but it's still raw.
Yeah.
But anytime, something new happens in baseball, it's kind of like when a pretty girl smiles at you after you've broken up with someone and you go, maybe I can move on.
I do also know I read through the comment section of a Jay's post like the next day.
Yeah.
And I would say more than 50%.
That's a dangerous.
No, it was so encouraging.
Oh, okay, good.
Because
just for the record, embarrassingly, there were Jays fans who were like, player X and X should have broken their legs because they didn't execute this or do that. So
Jays fans, a lot of Jays fans in the comments were sore losers.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Big time.
I would say 60% of the comments in this one specific post I read were Dodgers fans. That were there to congratulate the Jays on an incredible and of the 60% of comments that were Dodgers fans, I would say 70% of those people had said, honestly, as a lifelong Dodgers fan, I had the Jays won, I couldn't have been upset. You guys played your absolute. You kept us on our toes, and gave us everything that we could possibly take. And
seven games wasn't enough.
Yeah. So, anyways,
this film. I have a lot of things to talk to you about this film.
I have so many things too. I'm so excited to talk about this. Buckle in for a 5-hour episode.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll do like a second episode about it in 5 years. Kind of like Titanic.
The retrospective. Yeah. Initial impressions.
Let's do it.
Who wants to?
I think you go first.
Okay.
Yeah. That could, eh?
I went into this movie. So I'm going to set the stage. This is going to be a slightly longer than average initial impression.
Then I will follow suit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I went into this film high expectations.
Yes.
Which is always dangerous.
It is a dangerous game to play.
But I went into it high expectations because it's Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
And because it's Frankenstein and it's Oscar Isaac and it just seemed, and from the trailers I saw, it just seemed like all the ingredients that should go into the cookie was going into the cookie, and it was going to be a great cookie. This film makes me think back to school.
Oh.
I'd say specifically college.
Sure.
And being given an assignment in school. And quite often, if your professor was doing some professors would be absolute dicks. They would just be like, here's the assignment. It's worth 40% of your final grade.
Get to it.
Good luck. Right? Some professors, the good professors, would give you a break. We'd spend 20 minutes unpacking what this assignment should be.
Yes, this is what I'm looking for here.
These, and quite often they would go, here are the 5 elements that I need to see. The rest is up to you to fill in the fluff.
Yep.
But here are the 5 elements that I will be looking for. Some professors, if they were really crazy, would also then show you, here's an example of an assignment from a student 5 years ago that did really well. And that was always the best because you're like, oh, sweet. Now I can wrap my mind around what this should look like.
Mental screenshot.
Yeah. But so anyways, we're focusing on that middle one. I feel like if you were to approach Frankenstein in that same sense as an assignment,
Yes.
and there are a list of things that we're going to be looking for, some of those boxes were ticked and excelled on and will be used as reference for future students.
Wow.
And so it should.
Yeah.
Some elements wasn't quite what we were looking for. Was not quite what was expected of you.
Yep.
And it's going to reflect in your grade. That is my initial impression. It's a little cryptic. It's a little vague. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Which is just to say there are some things in this that I think are done incredibly. And there are some things that are real problematic.
Interesting. So before I go into my initial impression, I just want to say for context, the things that I've heard have all been great reviews. The tomato meter is 86% for critics, 95% for audience.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Listen, my initial impression, visually spectacular. I am actually pretty sad I didn't see it in theaters with its limited theatrical release.
In IMAX.
I just to be clear, I didn't watch it on an iPad in a bus station. Like I gave it the full like home theater vibe, but like just nothing compared. You know, it's like Top Gun Maverick, one of those movies that just I feel in a theater. This movie visually would have been nuts.
iPad in a bus station would be really interesting, just because eventually I feel like there's a security guard that's like, he's been here for 2.5 hours. What bus is he waiting for? Who is this guy? Are you homeless, sir? In which case, whose iPad is that?
And what movie are you watching?
And what movie are you watching?
So yeah, it's visually spectacular. I do wish I had seen it in theaters. I think there's some really great performances in this. I think there's just some things that are missing, and I think it came down to some of the writing. I think it didn't achieve the underlying oomph that the novel does. That some of the other film stuff. Not in 20 years, but I have.
Okay.
I don't think it has.
That's important. That's good.
Very much. I don't think it has some of the oomph that some of the other movies have.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen them all, but I've seen some. And I was just really disconnected with some of our characters.
Okay.
So yeah, I was left with this kind of like
my favorite character is not who you might think it is.
I'm interested to find out who, but yeah, I was left with this kind of lukewarm, and I never thought I'd say this, but like the Kenneth Branagh, Robert De Niro Frankenstein from 1992.
Yeah.
Like I have fonder memories of
that one's really good. I do also really like the Daniel Radcliffe, James McAvoy one.
I don't dislike it. It has some.
I will get into that.
Yeah. The thing I will just say, and this is the end of my initial impression, the absolute aura farming by Oscar Isaac with his hat and his suit and just like his whole vibe and like the chopped like sideburns were nuts.
Yeah.
Just aura farming through and through.
It was epic.
Yeah. So how do you want to break this down? Because the way I would tackle it if I was just talking by myself, like just the things that there's a lot more negatives, I guess I want to say.
Okay.
So should we go through negative things or do you want to go by theme? Like,
I mean, we could, in my mind, I'm open to whatever.
Sure.
In my mind, I do have that list of what we were looking for.
Yeah.
And so maybe if we go through that list,
that might just naturally hit some stuff.
It might hit a lot of it or all of it or we'll see.
Yeah.
So let's piggyback off of something you said.
Sure.
Thing number one, this is a pretty movie.
Oh,
like it reminded me a lot of Rings of Power, which like that show or dislike that show, I think most of us can agree it's really pretty.
Yep.
It's nice to look at. My hat is off to the cinematographer of this film.
Yeah.
And the color grader.
The set designer.
Every shot feels like a meticulous and well thought out painting.
And I'd say like even just the sets too. Like yes, there's some CGI. Yes, there's some blue screen, like green screens.
Sure.
But like,
it's well done. Right. Even that our opening shot where we're out on the ice, but it's nighttime and you've got the red of the torches, but the sky's got this greenish Northern Lights hue to it, and it's like, it's so visually stunning.
Again, I just wish I was in a theater to see this.
Yeah, 100%. Because I fully acknowledge I sound like a broken record right now.
No,
but it's gorgeous.
It is.
Like, yeah, it just made me smile the whole time. And there's so many shots from this movie where I'm like, I would make that my desktop wallpaper.
Yes.
I would make that my desktop wallpaper.
I was just going to say, there's so many freeze frames you could take and just like frame it.
Yeah.
Frame it, put it in the Louvre. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that someone can break in and steal it.
Or go there and realize it's the size of like a 4x6 painting.
Yeah. Yeah. Her smile is not that big. But yeah, no. So that to me, that box,
I would agree.
That was not just that should be used as future examples. For now, not every film should look that way. I get it, right?
No.
Like if you're doing a World War II film, you want some desaturation, you want it to feel gritty, you want it to whatever. This doesn't work for everything. But for this, my God, did it work. Well, looking at it with this sort of color and the contrast and the whatever, there was a part of me that thought, I kind of hope this is the approach, because all we've seen is set photos. I was like, if the new HBO Harry Potter series has this kind of magical, rich color feel to it, that will not only be very pleasant to watch, but would be something that helps distinguish it a little bit from the films that came prior.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I'm not going to like that distinction, but you're right. It would at least separate them. So it's like, this is different.
This is different. It's its own thing. Yeah. So they did super well with that.
Knocked it out.
The second thing would be faithfulness to the novel. Now, I would say,
you think they did this?
No. The second
yes.
requirement.
Yep.
What I will say is, I think that this stays more truthful to the novel than many other Frankenstein adaptations.
Sure.
There are still some large deviances.
Yep.
Things like in this, Elizabeth is William Frankenstein's fiance as opposed to Victor Frankenstein's fiance.
And that just didn't work for me.
And then we get a little bit of a love triangle going on because now Victor wants to date her and
it's just an awkward love triangle. Like, it's just like, that dude, that's your brother's mate. Like, just
like a weird
rattle. Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, that didn't work for me. It's an unnecessary complication. Because I'm okay with deviating from source material, but from this, it just makes it a weird, awkward, kerblunching of emotions.
Now it's interesting because...
And just for the record, it's not even a triangle, because Oscar asks, it's like, dog, you picking up what I'm laying down, and she puts up the stop signs, like, again and again.
Now, the book, Frankenstein, which is written by Mark Shelley or something?
Mary Shelley.
Mary Shelley.
Mark Shelley.
Oh, it's a female author.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes, Mary.
That is incredible. Did she also... No.
What are you looking up?
There are no... There's no sequels.
Not that I'm aware of.
Right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like all this other... Okay. So, remind me.
Sure.
Because it's my understanding... Hang on.
Yeah.
Before I make myself look like an idiot.
No. Just ask the question.
In the films, like how into like the old...
No, not very. I've seen the Robert De Niro, and that might be it that I can think of.
Right. So it kind of seemed to me that in this, they were trying to blend Elizabeth with... So there is a shot of Elizabeth in this film in her wedding dress on her wedding day, coming down the steps of the house that they're in.
Yeah.
And that's when I noticed that Elizabeth's arms had this sort of weaved, not lace, but weaved material. This very specific weaving all the way down her sleeves. You're pulling up a picture?
Yeah. I'm also Googling where I think you're going with this, just to kind of keep up.
The weaving on her sleeves in this film is very reminiscent and feels like it's meant to be an Easter egg or a direct tie-in to the outfit of the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes.
From 1950, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I can't verify that.
No. But that's an interesting observation.
I have a horrible rattle here.
Yeah.
No.
I've just confirmed that I think it is over there, but that's weird.
Hang on. This is going to drive me nuts. Where? I don't know. We're getting new shit. which will help.
That's bizarre.
I'm just going to try not to move much.
Yeah. So definitely some ties to Bride of Frankenstein, or maybe some references.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. Which, whatever. I don't think that doesn't hurt it.
No.
It certainly isn't. It isn't the issue with the Elizabeth character in this film.
Sure.
Right. That's not the fact that she may be a little bit of an homage to the Bride of Frankenstein is not the issue with this character.
No.
Other deviations from the book that sort of stood out to me as real big things. One would be, and I want to tiptoe around the one because the portrayal of the monster is a whole. That's going to be a whole category of discussion in and of itself.
Yep.
The book is very coy about the actual creation process of the monster.
Sure.
Now, obviously the film isn't. They show the lightning in the tower and the whatever.
Yep.
The stuff that we've come to. Like the book basically just says that he was comprised of many pieces of different corpses, and that lightning was a part of the reanimation process. I don't count this as a sin towards the film because I feel like you have to show. Like if you did a Frankenstein movie and you didn't get the scene of Victor flipping the switches and the lightning striking and whatever, audiences would feel cheated.
Sure.
Right. That's just it. That's come to be expected as a part of the story.
It's par for the course. Yeah.
Yeah. So that doesn't bother me. What I will say before we get into the whole thing about the monster, I will just say in terms of like in the book, what's so brilliant about the book is that both Victor and the creature, the book is not a story. It's unique in the sense that it's not a story about a villain and a protagonist. In the book, Victor and the creature are both the villains.
Right.
And that's the great twist about that story is that you feel like going into it, well, the monster's the villain and Victor's the innocent one, blah, blah, blah. He just made a mistake. He made a monster that got it all got out of control and it was all, whatever. In the book, no. Victor is just as much a monster as the creature is.
Now, listen, I'm going to show my cards here. It's been 20 years. So people can read books and have their own perception. So it could just be misremembering him. Could also be 20 years playing here.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I didn't enjoy was how much they villainized Oscar Isaac in this. Yes, have him play God. yes, have him dabble with hubris and try and reach for the sun and go too far. But I just found him a little too one-dimensional.
They do villainize him more than they do in the, he's like whipping the creature in the basement.
Yes.
With the iron fire poker thing.
I guess maybe I don't have an issue with him being a villain, but don't make him so one-dimensional.
Don't make him a dick.
Like, I would have found it more ethically enjoyable as a story if either he's neutral or just has a bit more of a dimensional character.
Right.
And then obviously at some point he's aware of his impact of what he's done. And to me, what the real kind of aha moment was in the book is him refusing to make a partner and him doing it not out of spite, but just out of ethical. I've played with fire once. I can't do it twice. And I think that having philosophical underpinnings of why he doesn't make a partner for the monster would have just been a bit more of a rich character. It gives him some layers. He's not so one-dimensional.
They sort of nod to that.
They nod to it, but like I think it's the motivations that were different.
Victor says creating you, he says, you represent something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, but he says, the creation of you represents a moment of sheer madness in my past.
Yeah.
And I dare not reinvite that madness.
So maybe it was there
they nod
subtly
to it, but there is definitely he's just
very one-dimensional.
He's just like nasty to the monster.
Yeah. So I think that's. I don't remember him being that one-dimensional in the book.
Yeah.
Did you mention just of things that were different? Because the whole sister-in-law situation and not having his own romantic partner,
right?
Like that difference in creative choice was a decision that I wasn't so crazy.
I was
about.
not huge on it. No.
The whole Heinrich, like Christoph Waltz character, that was an addition. That again, make additions. That's fine. The problem that I had with it is that he plays a pivotal role and he's the financial backer and he puts pressure and like, this is why we need to get it done by a certain time.
Yeah.
And it builds to this like very climactic moment that then in a fit of like accident, he falls to his death.
Yeah.
And nothing comes of it. That's the problem that I had with it. Like I thought, okay, now something's going to hit the fan. His family is going to be so upset with Oscar Isaac, or there's going to be some unintended consequence now that he has to deal with it. It was truly, this just happened and nobody cared.
Right.
So like, it seemed like he had a very minimal pushing forward of the plot and then he just disappeared and no one cared. And that was just puzzling to me.
Yeah. Now I thought I had a theory about what was happening with Heinrich.
So, and by theory, you mean you thought something happened and then it didn't happen?
I thought something was going to happen.
Okay. Lay it on me.
And then it didn't. And this would have been a deviation to the novel.
Sure. Which for the record, we're both saying deviations are fine.
But it's a deviation I would have been okay with because it sort of feels almost in line with we want to see the creation. I'm okay that this didn't happen, but I think it could have been really interesting. Now, in the novel, there is a character that has become sort of quintessential to the Frankenstein story that is not in the novel. It's a character birthed out of it. Originally, the character was named Fritz. And Fritz first appears in like the 1820s in a play version, and then he starts appearing in other film versions, and then in the like 1930s, 1940s, whenever the Bela Lugosi Frankenstein is, this character sort of gets a name change and is really cemented in their persona and role in this story. So yeah, I spent much of the film going, "Who's this Heinrich? Who's this Heinrich guy? Who's this Heinrich guy?"
And then
and then we see Heinrich in his true thing. We see that his hair is all falling out. He's ill.
Yeah.
He's got syphilis.
Yeah.
And as as we all do, right? But no, he's got syphilis.
Yeah.
And without the wig, he looks kind of, and
sickly,
there could be some deformities coming. There could be who knows? And I'm like, and that was the moment. As soon as we saw that, I was like,
oh,
this is going to be the Igor character.
But it wasn't.
They're going to turn him into, he'll be the one flipping the switch or whatever, and something's going to happen. Something's going to fall on him that's going to give him a spine injury, and then he'll have a bit of a hunch to him or whatever. And this is going to be the Igor character. Now, Igor, again, not a part of the novel.
No, but could have been a fun, interesting.
But I feel like would have been an okay deviation.
Would have been a natural way to slide that in.
And it would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not what happened.
No.
He feels like he's just there to explain away where the funding came from.
Yeah.
Oh, and touching on the set design thing again,
sure.
and like this just popped into my head.
Yep.
That tower is perfect. Like that whole set,
cool.
That building, it's like this feels Victor Frankenstein-y.
And for me, just to comment on the film, yes, the tower was cool.
Yeah.
But for me, just as equally as cool was the simple farm.
Yes.
Like I think that's just a testament to the visuals of this film. Truly the moments of this amazing tower or just this little peasant farm.
Yeah.
And the sun shining off the snow peaks and just things like that. Like,
yeah.
Visually
so
insane.
Faithful to the book, more than many adaptations.
Yep.
Not entirely faithful. There are some big deviations.
Yeah.
With the exception of the Elizabeth one, none of them really irked me, and the Elizabeth one did not irk me enough that I disliked the film. It didn't wreck the film for me.
No.
It just kind of felt like I don't know why that choice was made.
Can I interject? This is a difference from the novel, that this is probably my biggest point, and this seems like the most natural time to bring it up. So it's more of a theme issue. So I dislike that the focus on the theme. How's the best way to phrase this? The book is called The Modern Prometheus, and so for me,
originally, it's in later printings. It was just straight up Frankenstein.
Yep.
But
that is what the emphasis should be on in this film. It should be a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Like that's what this is. It's about,
which I don't feel like it is.
No, and that's my problem with this. This I should watch this 200 years later after the book came out and have a refreshed reminder of like, oh yeah, like that's why we don't reach too close to the sun. That's why we don't push limits. That's why we, you don't go past the point of no return sometimes because the consequences will be bad.
Do you know what I just realized? Essentially a modern retelling of like a very altered modern retelling of Frankenstein is Jurassic Park. Like I wonder how much of that was taken into it. It's the whole thing is this is what happens when you play God.
I mean, there's a few examples.
They create monsters,
like,
and then the monsters get violent, and people get hurt.
I mean, look at, and this is based on a true event, but also look at the film in 2023, Oppenheimer.
Sure.
Like they drastically give direct comparisons of like Prometheus.
Yeah, but this is very much like someone creating life.
Yes, there's some differences. But yeah, so I think it just loses some potency for me when at the end of this film, there's too many there's too many flavors in the bag that they're trying to mix in. They try to mix in hope. They try to mix in forgiveness. All these things that there were slight differences of how the novel ended. That again, I don't have a problem with ending differently than the novel, but this just felt like too many cooks in the kitchen where there's one point to this whole film and it's not about forgiveness. It's not about hope. It's about Prometheus.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I felt like they just got a little too watered down in the theme that it was trying to say, and just stick with the original content. That's the theme you should be going for. Have your own blend on it, have your own flavor. But, I felt it was skimmed over, and just for me, there was the ship at the beginning.
Yep.
Where you have everything going down and you've got the ship at the end. And it was just a subtle nod that at one point, Oscar Isaac's like, you need to turn your boat, you need to go, you need to turn around. And for me, when I remember this story, it's so much more pivotal that like the film just sinks it into your head, or the book just sinks it into your head of like, this captain just keeps pushing the limits, pushing the limits, pushing the limits until he realizes, I'm in your shoes where you were a couple years ago, and look where it took you.
Yeah.
Now I realize I need to turn this boat around. And it was there. It was very subtle, but I think it needed to be emphasized a bit more. So like that was a bit of a problem with me. And so just don't reinvent what this movie is, or what this story is trying to teach us. And I think that's my biggest shift from the novel, and the biggest, just pick one lane in this movie and don't just try and muddy the waters.
Well, and another, like, on that, a deviation, and this is sort of tied into them, it feels like it's tied into them trying to create additional premises and themes and all this stuff, is in this film, the creature is 98% innocent, is just a straight up victim.
Yep.
Is not, it really doesn't have any wrongdoings.
No.
And that's not entirely consistent with the book either. Right. And I feel like they had to paint him that way in order to achieve this, that, and through that further villainizing Victor as this truly just horrific human being.
Yeah.
Self-centered, narcissistic monster.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, before I feel like the meat of this conversation is going to be talking about the creature and his design and his portrayal and his all of these things.
I think that'll be big. For me, the theme was the biggest problem.
Is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying problem. I'm just saying meat of the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I showed my cards.
Well, who knows? I'm not showing my cards. I'm just trying to keep it a mystery.
Sorry, I'm just going to be we're still recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
as soon as I start recording,
this is pretty good dry run.
We'll be recording. Yeah.
So is that where you want to go next then?
No, I want to save that if we can for the last.
Of course.
This is so another thing that would not be on a lot of people's box.
Sure.
For what we're looking for in this film, but it is on mine. This is a story about taking corpses apart and stitching them together.
Yeah.
And reanimating that and the chaos that can ensue and all of this stuff. And it's set against the backdrop of the 1800s where there were injuries and sickness and all of these things that were not as easily dealt with and cured and treated as they are today. So on and so in my mind, this is a graphic story.
Yeah.
When I picture the story of Frankenstein, it's a bloody story.
Right.
So show us that. And they did. Did
they ever?
And I really like this element of it. And while watching it, I was thinking, I don't know if, like, I could picture you being okay with it, but I could also picture you going,
I didn't need it.
I could have done, see? Yeah, exactly. And for me, I think when I see it and it's done tastefully.
I would agree.
Right? There's no moment of gratuitous gore.
For the context.
All the gore serves a purpose.
Yeah.
It's not like Saw, where it's just like, how gross can we make this?
Exactly.
Everything in this has context. And when you adhere to those boundaries, I feel like the result is further grounding your film in reality. Yeah. Making it feel less like I'm watching a film and more like I'm having an experience. Examples of this obviously would be all of the medical stuff, like when Victor's pulling on tendons in the hand and you're seeing when he's doing autopsy stuff or stitching the monster together. Yeah, that was graphic.
Right.
But I thought it was great.
And it served a purpose.
A great amount of detail that they went into. Obviously, the most graphic part is, we've set the house on fire. We're having second thoughts because we're not a total monster, and we hear our creation screaming in pain.
Yeah.
And we're having second thoughts.
Yeah.
We don't understand how fire and a sudden gush of oxygen works, though, because we open the door, the oxygen rushes in, there's a massive explosion, really just in a decimating way, flinging Victor back through the air and up against a stone statue thing.
Or something.
And in the process, shredding his leg.
Yeah.
They did great.
I could have done
brutal.
without that.
It's
I could have done
brutal.
without that. Yeah.
See, that's so wild.
It was intense. It was intense.
We just established we've treading over what we've already established on the show.
Yeah.
You work in the medical field.
Right.
How? I don't know why you're so.
I guess the good way or the most way to put it is I don't take delight when people walk in sick.
No.
And I have trouble disconnecting because I'm like, Victor, you should have paid more attention. Well, first of all, you shouldn't set the house on fire for one. But second,
where do you get that much
careful.
gas?
That was a ton of gas.
In really cool gas cans.
Well, I mean, if you're dripping with that much aura with a hat like that, you're not just getting a jerry can from the 7-Eleven.
You're burning that copper. Yeah, so that I liked the graphicness.
Yep.
Before we get into the monster, there's a couple of things that were huge sins for me.
Okay.
Not huge sins, just moments where I'm going, what?
I've got one to tack on when you're done.
Okay. Number one, there was really no explanation aside from we need to stay consistent with everyone's image of how this story goes. I couldn't really make heads or tails of why the creature needed to be made out of so many different bodies.
Yeah, that was a little surprising.
Right? Like, here, this chest is mostly intact, but we need the nipple from this guy. And I'm like,
sure.
Why? I loved the attention to detail of of getting into things like, the nervous system isn't, here's the issue with the nervous system. So we're going to use the lymphatic system, right? And that kind of, and seeing the pinned up, removed lymphatic system on that, like that was all really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was just a moment where I'm like, just one line of exposition about why, for whatever medical reason, and you can mostly bullshit your way through this. This is a bullshit story, right? Like the aspect, what you're doing is nonsense.
Yeah.
And so give us a nonsense explanation and we'll eat it up. Mm-hmm. But why is one of these corpses, or maybe one corpse, but you have to pull a little bit from one or two others? But this guy's like made out of like 17 people.
Yeah, at least.
And there's just no explanation for that. The other one is after Victor and the creature have separated.
Can I pause you there? Because there was that moment where the creature said something like, "Oh, I have memories" or something of all the different people he used to be. Would it have been hokey if we had seen some flashbacks of him, like some Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants-esque, like, "Oh, I remember being Tommy when he was a balloon maker in Paris," or I remember,
but just images, just pieces, that he can't
not
make
long,
sense
just
of.
like here's an image, here's
flashes.
an image, a night terror here.
Yeah. No, that would have worked great. The second moment that made zero sense to me whatsoever, and both Brianna and I are going, what? is, and this is again without getting too much into how they handled the creature.
Sure.
The creature's off in the woods. He's stumbled upon some deer. The most chill deer I've ever seen.
Never seen a human in their lives, apparently.
Whatever. No big deal. These hunters arrive, shoot the deer, see the creature, and go, what the hell is that? and then shoot it. And I'm sitting there going, okay. Taller than a human, yes. Pretty odd and unnatural looking, yes. But human-shaped head, 2 arms, 2 legs, and wearing clothing, also yes. So it seemed just a little like, oh, what in the hell is that? Boom! And I'm sitting there going, clearly a person. Like,
well, so here's the thing. You're setting me up. I'm going to talk about it now instead of when we talk about the monster.
okay.
But for the record, this is truly the least hideous rendition of the creature we've ever seen.
Okay, then yeah, we have to just jump in.
Let's
with
just
the
jump into it
monster.
now. Like the most attractive monster ever.
Yeah, it's a guy from Kissing Booth, but he's got face paint on.
Yes. So in that scene specifically, I truly didn't understand the hunters at all, because from a distance, let alone, yes, if it's 2 feet away, my first thought would be, oh, this person has seen some stuff. He's, he's injured. Let alone 20 feet away, I'm not going to first go, oh, that's clearly not a human being. He's wearing a coat.
Yeah.
And like, he's turned away. Like, you're going to be like, oh, sorry, sir. Didn't mean to shoot that deer that's like a foot from you.
What's wrong with your face? Not eat lead, sucker.
Yeah, like that was just...
I can't wrap my head around why he was shot.
I don't know. So...
if this film goes down in history negatively,
Which it doesn't seem that's the case.
If 5 years from now you and I do the retrospective,
right,
and it turns out we both give this bad scores and we crap on it and we whatever,
yeah,
and you say, do you think it's about time that we revisit the 2025 Frankenstein movie? Mm-hmm. I will say to you, you mean the one where they completely screwed up the Frankenstein's monster? You mean the one where it like literally if we're breaking down the different elements that we're hoping to see on your assignment, the element that is worth 65%, the element that is weighted the highest in terms of your grade.
Bolded and underlined is the description monster.
Monster, don't screw this up.
Yes,
that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It is a hot mess.
It was very different.
In the book, Victor sets out the reason why. So in the book, it's very clear that what Victor is setting out to do is create a person. He's ultimately trying to create the ultimate person. Right. He's trying to create something that is taller, stronger, and far more beautiful than any man. And he's trying to achieve perfection. Mm-hmm. He fails, but it's very clear in the creature in the book. It is described that when others see him, it is immediately clear that this is an abomination to humanity.
Yes, which is not what we see,
and is can only be viewed as an insult to God.
Right.
That this is truly horrific and horrendous, and not the fact that this is basically a pretty boy creature with some face paint on.
Yeah.
My issues visually. Let's just talk about visually. Now, I don't need bolts in the neck.
No.
And I don't need a flat-topped head. Mm. I'm okay if it mostly resembles a human. However...
it should resemble a human.
It should, because that was the goal.
Yeah.
I think they screwed up with 2 real story points here. One was the incredible Wolverine healing abilities of Frankenstein meant that he had minimally and very neat and tight scarring because he's just healing. So he remains looking pretty okay. because the second something happens, he just heals.
I don't have as much of a problem with him looking like a pretty boy. It's weird. It's not really consistent with the whole narrative of the character.
Yeah.
But the immortality, instant generation of healing, that was the thing that bothered me.
Yeah.
Just because you have these moments at the beginning where he's throwing people across a ship. He's lifting a ship out of the ice.
Very strong.
Like, even just at the end, even too, with the wedding, and he's throwing people across rooms, and then inadvertently the bride gets shot. You know, stick true to a more mysterious route. Have him lurking in the shadows around the ship. He doesn't need to throw someone across the ship to make them scared. Have someone lurking in the shadows. That's far more scary. And just from a narrative perspective, that he can just literally take like a machine gun to the chest. He might fall over. He might not. But if he does, he'll get up back in 30 seconds again. You know, I don't remember exactly the ending of the novel, but I think there's something to the degree. Well, isn't there something to the degree that he's essentially walking to his death in the Arctic?
So Frankenstein,
yeah,
Victor,
yeah.
Frankenstein dies.
Yeah.
And in the book, you're led to believe that the monster is headed off to commit suicide.
Yes.
Which further drives home the importance of companionship.
Yeah.
Right? That the creature wanted a companion. Victor wouldn't make it one.
Yeah.
So the closest thing the creature had was his creator, Victor.
And that was it.
And then Victor's gone. And so the monster heads off to kill itself.
I mean, listen, I'm going to say this farcically as a side.
Yeah.
But just on the note of companionship, like we're
friends.
You struck on the note of companionship, you struck the iron with your blind friend.
Yeah.
Maybe just go find a school of the blind somewhere. And I'm saying it tongue in cheek, but like also there is companionship in this world.
Yeah.
That you found and have been successful with. So it's not like you're a raccoon that can't speak to human beings.
And you have nothing to worry about. You can't die.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to wander into...
Well, but you know what? Feelings are tough, man. Words hurt.
I know.
Words hurt.
Like
he could be shot down with words.
He literally has all of eternity to wander this earth and find someone who will love him.
So just in this aside, like, yeah, maybe.
And it's not hard to, because had she not got shot...
Yes. She was interested in being friends.
Elizabeth would have had the creature's babies. Like, what are you talking about?
She was down to friend.
She was totally DTF. Totally DTF.
That's what DTF means, right?
She was totally DTFM. She was totally down to Frankenstein's monster.
Listen, we're joking aside, but that was just a sticking point that I'm like, what? Like, was that the only blind person in this universe? Like,
I don't know. Speaking of which, the blind guy, my favorite character in this movie.
It was a very heartwarming sequence.
Do you know who the actor is?
Not a clue.
It's the guy that plays Filch in the Harry Potter films. The creepy caretaker.
Oh, no way. Yeah. That checks out.
And you can hear the voice. You can hear it in his voice a little bit. But I was genuinely...
That's actually kind of funny.
I was like, I almost got teary when the creature's coming back and it's clear that the wolves have ransacked. Out loud, I was like, oh no.
That was heartbreaking. But also, then for dolt move number 2, the hunters come in. There's literally wolf corpses there.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it must have been the monster. Get the guns out, Steve.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the other thing, too, is like, so the creature doesn't even...
Like, I'm not trying to be graphic, but if they look closely at old Pops there...
Yeah.
They're like, he's got... Yeah, like, good gosh.
And the creature doesn't even try to explain the situation. Yeah. And that's the wild thing, is that, like, at this point he could... Because as this film will have you believe, we go from only being able to save Victor and not understanding the world to then being able to also say Elizabeth right before we burn the house down, to pretty quickly getting your bearings out in the wild once you've escaped, to
Goes full survivor,
reading
man.
13 books and being an intellectual savant with like, he's like, the first thing he reads is the Bible, and now he's a linguistic whiz. It just seemed like a
real quick turner. Those winters are long in Britain, man.
What I also didn't know, that was the other question. I was like, how long? Because when he goes into the basement, the underside of the inn,
yeah,
he's got maybe a little bit of peach fuzz on his head.
Yeah, that's true.
When he finally comes out and
like
he's interacting with the blind man, it's several years worth of hair growth.
That's true.
Now, you can say that who knows how fast his hair grows because he's I don't
know.
But then, all right, so back onto the topic of the monster.
Just yes or no. Finish this with a yes or no. Did you find the wolf sequence just an odd thing to interject?
No, it didn't bother me.
I found it a little weird because truly you could have had the same outcome if the dad sat there and like fell asleep while like reading with Frankenstein's monster, and then the guys just come in and see him and start shooting him. Like the wolves just seemed kind of random. But we'll move on. We'll move on from the wolves.
I think it was, but I think he had to die. I think the blind guy had to die.
Sure.
So that, because that's a part of the companionship.
Yeah. No, that's true.
And because then otherwise he would have
just come back.
Otherwise the creature would have killed the hunters and stayed with the old blind man.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know if he'd kill the hunters. He's not. Yeah.
Well, if they start shooting at him, he's going to do something. Right?
Yeah.
The other thing in which speaking of Frankenstein's hair, why is it that with a head that is stitched together of so many different pieces, all we get is one little silver tuft of hair out this, and the rest of it is just completely uniform, all one color, all the hair is growing in the same direction, right? Like his hair was too pretty for a head that's been stitched together of many pieces, probably here and there. He should have had tufts of, there should have been a part of his hair that was a little bit curly. There should have been a part of his hair that was straight. There should have been a couple different colors to it. Like that would have been a part of that hideous factor.
Appearance.
And would have made biological sense.
Yeah. Some parts that are jagged, some parts that are,
so they screwed things up for the appearance of Frankenstein's monster in terms of giving him this immense healing ability. They also go out of their way to make a point. There's like a line of dialogue about how good Victor is with a needle and thread. And part of me is like, the character design would have benefited from you being a little less good with a needle and thread. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just perfectly stitched together.
Right.
It's clear that all this is a guy, like half the time it looks like just the Jacob, whatever his last name is, the actor.
Oh, yes.
In face paint. They've just painted him. He has, I swear to you, because I pointed this out to Brienne, he has a forehead wrinkle that continues consistently across two different stitched together pieces of skin, two different colored from different human beings pieces of skin. He has one forehead wrinkle that continues through just perfectly.
I mean,
which made it feel very much like this is Halloween makeup.
Which again, it's just a testament to a choice that was made, because I've read, and you've probably seen it too, like the hours upon hours that they had to sit through for makeup. So it wasn't like, hey, this will be easier.
No.
It was just a choice.
It was just I think it was a poor choice.
Yeah.
I really, truly, I loved the first half of this film. I loved the part one, Victor's story. Loved it. Things really start to fall off for me once it's the creature story. Things start to get a little bit back on track for me once we pick back up with Victor and he's at William's place and we're getting ready for the wedding. And I was far more interested in Victor Frankenstein in this movie than I was in his monster, and that feels like a real problem in this story specifically. I should be equally interested in both of them. I didn't like getting to know the monster so much. I got to know him too much.
Yeah, I think fundamentally I liked the second half a bit more, but I think that was just to the point of I remembered liking Victor's motivations more.
Right.
And yes, they're messed up. Yes, he shouldn't be doing them anyway, but you can get a little bit of his motivation of why he was doing it. Maybe he's trying to recreate, it's the Anakin Skywalker trying to save his mother from death. That kind of angle from it.
Yeah.
And there was the foundation for that in this when you see some of his upbringing. But again, there was just some disconnect that I never really connected to him as a character.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy his half.
I definitely need to rewatch it.
I'm not sure.
But the whole, as soon as they started to develop the creature, and I became more and more cemented in the fact that they had messed the creature up, I found it hard to enjoy it.
I think the thing that's missing too is the fact that his bride, he never has a bride, Victor.
Right.
And it's a pretty big story point when there's a bride to be who dies. And
this bride to be does die, but it's
not his.
Just someone that
it's
Victor has feelings for.
But it wasn't mutual. So I think there was something that's quite a big part to take out of the equation.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I kind of rooted for him more as a character in the book. And that was missing from this. So as a character, there was less for me to root for him for.
In terms of Victor.
Yeah.
Because what are your motivations here? Why are you being so... I understand the motivation of what he initially does. I understand the motivation of creating the monster.
Yeah.
I understand the motivation. I don't understand the motivation of when, like, I get he's frustrated and he's feeling more and more. He's fighting against the feeling that his creation is a failure.
Yes.
But I don't get the whipping the monster because it won't speak thing. I do understand feeling like what you've made is dangerous and you're realizing that you don't have the control over it that you think you maybe did. And that I understand burning the tower.
Yeah.
Trying to destroy what you created.
You've got some regret.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't understand. I go back and forth from getting it and not getting it.
Yep.
I don't understand when the creature shows up at the wedding. I understand his horror in seeing what he thought he had killed is not dead.
Yep.
I don't understand the verbal jabs that he takes at the monster.
No.
Like just the ruthless.
Yeah,
nasty.
like where's this coming from?
But then I do understand setting off on a year-long hunt through the Arctic to kill it.
Yeah.
It flip-flops.
There's some disconnect in there.
I get it, and then I don't get it. And then I get it, and then I don't get it. And I get the monster's motivation throughout entirely. I get it.
Yep.
But it just a little too... The monster becomes a little too verbally... He gets too smart. He gets too verbally proficient. He gets too... And it's one more layer. If you have a monster that doesn't look like a monster, and then all of a sudden the monster doesn't quite act or even sound like a monster either, it just sort of compounded this, I'm not buying that this is Frankenstein's creature kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Which sucked and did take me out of it. It took a lot out of it for me.
Yep.
And so that was a bummer.
Yeah.
It was a real bummer.
Do we have anything else to cover?
I don't have anything else, I don't think.
That actually covered everything.
Yeah.
I am intrigued to rank.
I mean, I
this.
feel like we just spent a while shitting on it. What I do want to say,
not at all. We talked about visually how we loved it.
yeah.
And some
What I
aspects
do
that
want
we
to
did
say
enjoy.
is, I had fun. I was
Sure.
entertained the entire time. I never felt like, had I not had to watch it for us to review it, and this was just a Saturday night movie, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had been getting kind of tired, like was at the point where I could stay up or really I could go to bed. There was no moment where I would have shut it off.
That's a testament.
There was no moment where I didn't want to finish it. So that's, there's that. I mean, we didn't even talk, like cast-wise, it's Christoph Waltz plays Heinrich.
Yeah.
Right?
Oscar
So-
Isaac is incredible.
So stupid character, but
well played.
well played by
Yep.
not my favorite Christoph Waltz performance.
No.
I think Christoph Waltz in Django is still
That might be the
my favorite.
yeah.
Like especially that opening scene where he's on the carriage. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. But he's definitely still good in this. Oscar, everyone in this, except for the guy that plays Frankenstein's monster, I think is good. And I don't know that
And the chick playing Elizabeth was good too.
she's good.
Yeah.
The chick. Wow.
Mia.
Very,
Oh boy.
very dude
Sorry.
of you.
Sorry, bro.
Wow. The chick. Wow.
Oh no! Don't leave it hanging. What's her name? Mia Goth. That's actually pretty. That's interesting.
Maya Goth.
Yeah. For being a gothic film.
Yeah. I didn't like the performance of the creature. I don't know if that's the actor's fault. I don't know if that's direction.
I think it's more on
it's
choice too.
Yeah. Nothing about the monster worked for me. Almost nothing at all about the monster worked for me. And so that kind of just fairly or unfairly sucks
Yep.
a lot of aspects into it.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. Okay. Are you ready, sir?
I think so.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate Guillermo del Toro's 2025, The Modern Prometheus? Frankenstein.
I will just say, because I Googled it, for the context of those wolves of Isengard, level of wolves,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
that the more I'm thinking about them, I don't think, like, they did not need to be in this. And in the novel,
They were super
it truly
aggressive.
They were so aggressive, and they were size of like cows.
They had rabies. There's no way they didn't have rabies.
And so these wolves of Isengard were just so unnecessary, and I think we're another example of slapstick violence kind of distracting us, because in the novel, I just confirmed this, it truly is the family comes back and they chase the creature away, and the blind man is left there sitting, like, it's not that the blind man is killed or dies or something. It's truly that the family comes upon them and interrupts them. So
Yeah.
the wolves were unnecessary. As far as what I rank this, I gave it about, I hemmed and hawed, and I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not good. It's just above the halfway point. And I didn't have as much fun enjoying it as I really thought I was going to. Visually spectacular. I really liked Nightmare Alley, and of all the Guillermo del Toro movies that I need to do a rewatch of first, I think Nightmare Alley ranks way higher than Frankenstein does, which is unfortunate because Frankenstein is such a classic tale as old as time. But I don't regret watching it, but it didn't really pan out as much as I had hoped.
Right.
So 6 out of 10 for me. What did you give out of 10?
It's interesting because during the first half of this movie, there were many moments where I thought to myself, is this a 9?
Oh my gosh.
Is it a 9.5?
Oh my goodness.
There was a moment earlier on, Like, especially like after the first scene with the ship and everything, after the first scene with the ship, and then even after the like Victor giving his first demonstration of the reanimation and all of this stuff, I'm like, there was a brief moment where I was like, is this going to be the elusive 10?
Oh, jeez. But no.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Just because of the second half.
Literally because they botched the monster.
Okay.
And that is a huge, huge component of like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like making
That's the core.
It's like making an Old Yeller remake and using a pit bull terrier as the like screwing up the dog. Really, it's like screwing up the dog in Old Yeller. It is so crucial because so many. Again, I will say 50%, and this is a wild. Just throwing it out there, a number. It could be higher. I don't think it's any lower. 50% of the people who sat down to watch this movie went in thinking that the monster is called Frankenstein. People still don't like it's just one of those things. And so it's which means at least 50% of the people went into this movie to see the monster. Right. That is the reason. It is a monster story. It is a monster movie.
You could say it's a monster mash.
But they just screwed it up. They just really, really, really dropped the ball on the monster. He's too human.
Yeah.
And that blows.
Well, don't ask those hunters. They don't think he's human.
Let it be known that Oscar Isaac's Victor Frankenstein came closer to achieving his goal than any other Victor Frankenstein ever did, and that's a damn shame because it hurts the story.
Yeah. That's funny.
Wrap it up, sir.
Well, thank you for listening. Check out our socials below. Like, follow, subscribe. Give us a good rate and review wherever you can. Check out our Patreon page, our merchandise page below. It's ways for you to help support the show, help us to pay the bills, help us to grow and bring the show on to newer and brighter things every day that goes by. And for our existing Patreon supporters, we thank you. And for all who listened, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Did you get merch?
I did say, merch. Yeah, I said merch store.
You just kind of threw it all.
I threw it all in there.
Batteries not included.
Yes.
If you still have an erection after 4 hours, consult a doctor.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you should.
I don't really.
With or with, I'm telling you right. With it, see, this is the thing. This is your medical PSA right now. No, this is an important. Recording. I'm going to give genuine medical advice.
Not if I hit the stop recording button.
People always tell you that if you take Viagra and you have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours, you should call a doctor. If you have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours and you haven't taken Viagra, you should still probably consult a doctor. That's not normal. Agree or disagree?
No comment.